today's video, I am going to tone my hair while I talk to you all about the different hair products that I use for my hair that is oily in the roots but dry in the ends. Just so we're clear, the products that we're going to talk about today are sort of like my everyday products that are meant to manage my hair issues, not necessarily styling products, because there are definitely days where I add more products on top of the ones that we're going to talk about today for the purposes of styling my hair, like mousses, thickening serums, things like that. So starting off, I just wanted to talk a little bit about brands. So I will show you the exact ones that I'm currently using, but it's not so much about the brand, okay? I have used different brands that give me the same results. It's less about the brand and more about the ingredients, and that's what I try to tell people all the time. If you want to learn more about all the ingredients, you can always grab one of my Understanding Hair Products ebooks, where it really breaks down the hair types and the types of ingredients that you'd want to look for in your products to manage that hair type. Because at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter what brand of a product is. If it doesn't have the ingredients that your hair is needing, that product isn't going to do much for you. And if you don't understand what ingredients your hair needs, then your results from any product are going to be subpar. You know, that's why someone can rave about how great a product is. You go and purchase it, try it, and it doesn't do anything for you. You hate it, but it's not because the product is bad. It's probably because your hair needed something different than what that person's hair needed. It's also the reason we will use a certain shampoo or conditioner or product for a period of time, and then all of a sudden it feels like it's not working really well anymore, and then you switch up your product. And a lot of people talk about that as if it's like your hair gets used to the product, the shampoo, and you need to change up your shampoo. But it's not so much that your hair got used to it. It's just that whatever issue you were trying to remedy with your shampoo has now been fixed, and now you have different issues you need to deal with. So if your hair was really dry and you were using a really hydrating shampoo and conditioner set, and then all of a sudden one day you feel like it's weighing your hair down and making it greasy, well, it's because your hair is not dry anymore and you don't need such a heavy shampoo and conditioner. Not because your hair got used to it, but because you fixed the problem. And that's why it's always important to understand the products you're putting in your hair, what they're doing for your hair, and what ingredients are doing and understanding what ingredients are inciting change in your hair. Because if you have that shampoo and conditioner that is super hydrating, that's now weighing your hair down, you want to buy a new one, but you accidentally buy one with the same type of ingredients in it because you're just looking at the marketing slogans on the front of the bottle. Maybe another bottle doesn't market itself as a hydrating, moisturizing shampoo, but is still full of a lot of oils and butters. You're going to run into the same problem without even realizing it. So it's really, really important to learn how to read the ingredients on the back of the bottles when you're looking for products, and understanding what ingredients you need to be looking for to solve your problems. So I can't really make one big, huge video about, because there's just so many. The ebook that I wrote is like, I think it's like 70 pages long, because it talks about all the different ingredients. And there's no fluff in the book. There's no jibber jabber, me talking about pointless stuff. It is all 100% just talking about different hair types, different issues that those hair types have, what ingredients will help you with those issues. All that being said, let's get into what I have been using on my hair. So my roots are oily and my ends get dry. So we need a shampoo that's going to deal with our oily roots. We want a shampoo and conditioner that's going to deal with our oily roots and our dry ends, but let's figure out why our ends are dry first. So in my case, my ends are dry mostly because my hair is heavily processed and I use heat. So the dryness is a bit of damage, dehydration due to processing. So it's not like damaged, and I don't want to use the word damaged because then people buy things for damaged hair. The problem is products for damaged hair are usually full of proteins, keratins, etc., and I don't want those in my hair. My hair is not deficient in those, and if you use too much of those, you will have the opposite effect and actually make your hair worse. So you have to be careful with proteins that you're only using them if you absolutely need them. When you need them is when your hair is brittle, gummy, breaking, coming apart. But if your hair feels relatively elastic and strong, just dry, then protein is not what you need. Hydration is what you need. So I have been using the Wella Ultimate Repair Shampoo and Conditioner. The reason I like this one is because it is a sulfate-based shampoo. So there are sulfates in the shampoo, which means it's really going to attack that oil on my scalp, allowing me to go as many days as possible between washing my hair. And sulfate-free shampoo, my hair will absolutely be oily a lot faster than using a shampoo with sulfates in it. Now this is a reparative shampoo. I did want one that has repair because, like we said, my dryness is a bit due to damage. But if you read the ingredients on this, this is a protein-free reparative shampoo. This line uses things like citric acid and glycerin to strengthen your hair, so it is a better option for me. I also want something that's going to moisturize my hair without being heavy. So I typically will avoid shampoos and conditioners that are for moisturizing, for hydrating, because they will usually have ingredients in them, butters, oils, things like that, that are going to weigh down my hair and counteract the cleansing that's happening at my scalp. And while my ends may feel and look really great when I use those products, my roots are going to get oily faster. So I stick to a shampoo and conditioner that is using hydrating ingredients that are going to be good for my scalp as well as for my ends, because your shampoo and conditioner are going to go all over your head. There's no point using a shampoo and conditioner that is counterproductive to what you're trying to achieve with the hair at your scalp, because you're going to need to put those products into your scalp. I know not everyone massages their conditioner into their scalp, but you really should once in a while massage it into your scalp so that all of those hair strands get conditioned. You don't have to do that every time, but if you're using the right conditioner for your hair, you definitely don't have to worry so much about it weighing your hair down, because it's the products after I'm done washing and drying my hair that I worry more about my dry ends. So a shampoo and conditioner that uses hydration, that isn't too heavy if you have fine hair that's dry on the ends, and has sulfates if your roots are oily. Afterwards, right when I come out of the shower, I let my hair sit in a towel for just a couple minutes, but while it's still very wet, I use a leave-in conditioner. I like the multi-use leave-in conditioners, the ones that have your heat protection, your smoothing, your shine, your all of those things in one, so that I can reduce how many products I have to buy. So I have right now been mostly using the Ultimate Repair one because it goes with the line. I bought the whole line and it's been great. It's detangling, smoothing, heat protection, all that good stuff. But my other one that I love is my Matrix Miracle Creator 20. This is what I have in my salon. I use it on all my clients, and most of my clients use it at home as well. And I don't actually sell any products to my clients. They purchase them all on their own outside of my salon. I don't sell retail to my clients. So it's not just that I have sold it to them for a profit. They just love it when I use it in their hair and they all buy it. So this is a much more affordable option. This line is quite expensive. This is about, I think about $20 to $25 depending on where you buy it from. It's still not a drugstore brand. It's still professional, but the Wella is a lot more expensive than the Matrix. So I use either the Matrix Miracle Creator 20 or the Wella Ultimate Repair. But again, it's not about which brand. It's about finding a multitasking leave-in treatment that works for your hair. When it comes to these, again, you want to make sure that you're reading the ingredients. The Wella one, I will spray all over my hair. The Matrix one, I only put in my mids and ends because there is some oils and stuff in this, a little bit more hydrating, a little bit more softening, but it would be a bit heavy for my roots. So this one I only put through my mids and ends, and this one I will spray everywhere, and that's why it's really important to make sure you can read the ingredients and understand what you're putting in your hair so you know where to put it. But I don't really need to worry about leave-in conditioner in my roots because I've already conditioned my hair prior to getting out of the shower. So the leave-in going in my mids and ends, that's really what it's for. It's going to help it be detangled, and it's going to be a lot smoother. Now, honestly, most of the time I would leave it at that. If I'm going to be styling my hair smooth and I want a bit of extra smoothness, I'm going to use a product that's heavy in silicone like the Olaplex No. 6. So a smoothing balm with silicone in it. And don't be afraid of silicone, okay? As long as you're washing your hair on a regular basis, using good cleansing shampoo and washing your hair well, you don't need to worry about silicone building up. Silicone is not only going to coat your hair and make it smooth and shiny looking, it's going to lock in all that hydration and moisture on those mids and ends that you've added from your conditioner, your shampoo, all of that stuff. This is going to lock in all that hydration, even some water, and help your hair be more hydrated, therefore look more shiny, be more supple, be stronger, all of those things. The one other thing that I have started doing recently that I can't say that is making a huge difference or not, because I've only just started doing it, but I have started using a night serum on my ends. So this again comes from the Wella Ultimate Repair line, but there are other brands that have them, and this is a serum that is a bit creamy, but you just rake it through the ends and mids of your hair before you go to bed at night, and it is supposed to help your hair retain more moisture, be smoother, be softer. So that is something that I have been using recently that I do think is making a difference, but it is too soon for me to say definitively. So those are the products that I use on a regular basis right now. I do, of course, rotate in other shampoos when I'm clarifying, or I just have other shampoos in my shower that sometimes I just grab because they're closer by. I do use other treatments in my hair. I do use other styling products. Everyone's hair routine is going to be so personalized. It's really hard to share hair routines for me because I don't want you guys to look at my hair routine and emulate it and then wonder why your hair doesn't look like my hair, or why it doesn't work for you like it does for me, or feel like I'm lying to you about products when really it's just that maybe it wasn't quite the right routine for you. So what I really encourage you to do is to learn how to build your own perfect hair routine. Learn what it is that you need for your hair, as opposed to always looking at what other people need for their hair and then trying to apply that to yourself. You might get lucky. You might be able to find a routine that someone else has that works really well for you, especially if visually you feel like your hair looks like the other person's, but a lot of times there may be subtle differences. And you also want to build a routine that's sustainable. There's no point in buying a really expensive line like the Wella and then falling in love with it if you can't sustain purchasing it. There are great products at every single price point, so build yourself a hair routine that is sustainable for you to purchase, to do, to use. You know, I have a very extensive hair routine. I use a lot of products. I do a lot of treatments. I dye my hair often. I tone my hair often. I do all these things often. My hair is extremely high maintenance. If you are not somebody who does well with high maintenance, then you want to create a routine for your hair that's more low maintenance but still gives you the benefits that you need. So I really, really encourage you to figure out your own hair routine and take all the advice and the topics that we talk about here and apply that to yourself and figure out ways for it to be customized to you. And check out my ebooks if that helps, because that's exactly why I wrote them, just so you kind of have a resource, have everything there. But all that information is out there on the internet if you want to go searching for it. Thank you so much for watching today. I am going to go wash my hair now and get this toner out, and I will see you guys on my next video. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss my next video, and hit that like button, share my videos with anyone else that you think this would be helpful for, and let me know what else you guys would like to see me make videos about. Bye guys.